with the budget constraint, if we're back to hats and shoes, I've got a certain amount of income, and I'm going to spend that income on hats and shoes. Right? Spending on hats, spending on shoes equals all my income. I spend all my income. So if you're asked to,
it was wanting like us to find the equation, like right down here you had like the answers.
We have the slope equation.
Yeah.
Find the slope of it, maybe?
Yeah.
So you change it into slope-intercept form, and you can find the slope?
Like the answers were the QB equals 6 minus 4.4 QM.
Okay. So, I mean...
They just did it in like a longer way than what we learned.
Okay, yeah.
The whole equation.
There's a variety of things you could do. You could always fall back on plug and chug if you're freaking out on a test. Right? You could actually plug and chug your way through this if you had... $100 and hats were $20 and shoes were $50, and that might not come out even, but I probably would have prettier numbers. But then you could actually plug in numbers and solve for one. So if you bought 10 hats, 10 times 20 is I'm running out of money already. But if you bought If you bought 3 hats, 3 times 20 is 60, there's $40 left over. You could just plug and chug your way into graphing it. Okay. And I just made up these numbers as I went. It wouldn't, it would come out probably nice and even for you to get on a straight line. But as far as solving this equation, back to I think part of your question, vertical axis and horizontal axis. And if we use slope-intercept form, X is the horizontal axis. So if you transform this equation, since I wrote hats on the vertical axis and shoes on the horizontal, then I would solve for QH. So take this equation and make it look like this. QH equals ... If you do that, then you've changed the budget constraint into slope-intercept form. And what you're going to find is that it should look like this. QH, and I'll let you do the math. We did the math in class, but QH equals the price of shoes over the price of hats times the quantity of shoes plus my income divided by, this is my vertical intercept now, the price of hats. And so if you look back in your notes, that's what these vertical intercepts were when we did like 10 and we were buying 10 beers or 5 pizzas or whatever. This is the underlying mechanics of that. And this is actually a minus sign, negative slope. But the price ratio is there. And so the price ratio is the slope of the budget line, as we've